Welcome. We are here for another part of our state series with the Academy of Adoption and Reproduction Attorneys. We're covering the state of Florida today. Some of my favorite fellows within the Academy are in the state of Florida, and let's introduce you to them. Let's start with Susan. Introduce yourself.
I'm Susan Stockham. I'm a fellow in the Academy in Florida and have been a fellow since the Academy's inception. I've also built my family through adoptions. I have 5 adopted sons in various forms of adoptions. My practice is a solo practitioner. We're very accessible to families, and we work with all family formations, and we encourage you to contact us or contact a fellow in Florida.
Wonderful. And Stan.
Hi, I'm Stan Brenner. I'm located in Boca Raton, Florida. I've been practicing reproductive law for over 15 years. I've been around since Florida's statutes were enacted, as you can tell by my white hair. I'm probably the senior member of the group that's talking today. Work with families of all shapes, sizes, colors, creeds, and sexual preferences, and love doing this work. And look forward and thank Kim for taking the opportunity and the time to do this and giving the Florida Fellows the opportunity to talk to you about surrogacy.
Wonderful. Robert.
I am Robert Terenzio. I'm a 20+ year exclusive practitioner in ART. That includes family formation of all types, shapes, and sizes, including gamete donation, surrogacy, both genetic and gestational, second and step parent adoptions, as well as third parent adoptions for those that would like to be totally inclusive.
Awesome. And Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Beaudelet. I'm a surrogacy attorney and I'm located in Tampa, Florida. I've been practicing for almost 10 years now. And in this area of law, my family's from Central America, from Nicaragua. So I'm also fluent in Spanish. So I've been able to work with, like many of the fellows here, with clients from all over and families of all types. And I really, really enjoy and love the work.
Always find out something interesting and new that we didn't know about somebody. All right, Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle Hausman. I am a partner with Hausman and Hickman, and we handle reproductive law as well as private adoption. My first surrogacy case was probably close to 25 years ago, which gives you an idea of my age. But I've done a lot more since then. Florida, the weather is fabulous. This is definitely a great place to find a good carrier. We represent intended parents, surrogates, donors, and we can handle every aspect of your reproductive matter. Thank you.
I forget that weather might be one of those enticing things for coming to your state, right? All right, Liz. Last but not least.
Thank you. I'm the youngest of 6 kids, so my father would always say, my last and least. So you're really triggering something for me there. So hi, my name is Liz Schwartz, she, her, hers pronouns. I'm an attorney in Miami. And it's funny because Michelle and I feel like I'm maybe on the slightly younger edge of the age spectrum, but because I have mostly worked in the LGBTQ community and we have only been able to adopt in the state of Florida since 2010 legally. I've also been doing surrogacy for 25 years because for us, that was the way to form your family legally back in the day. And of course, still do plenty of work with our LGBTQ families and all kinds of sperm and egg representation. And why don't represent the sperm and the egg, the sperm donor and the egg donor and the gestational carrier and the intended parents. And indeed, it's a wonderful, sunny, sometimes too sunny, wonderful place to do your gestational surrogacy. And we've got wonderful colleagues here who are able to help throughout the state of Florida. So come on down.
There you go. I think all the marketing pieces should talk about the weather. All right, or at least the right and wrong time to go there, I guess. All right, let's talk generically about the state of Florida, because those who are probably clicking on this video are just, they're in that stage of, should I use a surrogate or a donor in the state of Florida? Generically, Robert, is Florida the state to go to? Is it a go-to state?
Well, you're asking a Florida fellow to answer that, so of course I'm going to say yes. The first state to put a statute in place protecting parentage for surrogacy, I think that bodes well for Florida. And we're coming on 30 years now, I believe, since that statute was promulgated. Makes it very, very easy, very predictable, and certainly with the most important thing that a person might do in their life, have a child, we need protection and stability.
Susan, is it a state, if you've got some intended parents that are married, unmarried, or single, what do they need to know for the state of Florida for that?
We have 2 different procedures in Florida for both doing contracts as well as establishing legal rights as parents. If you're married and at least one partner is genetically related to the child, it's a very simplified, straightforward process. The contracts are the basis for establishing the legal parentage connection to the child. We can get pre-birth orders in most of the state in those cases, and it's a really simple, easy process. If you're single, you and your partner are single and you're together and creating a child, or just single, or you're not genetically related to the child, then we do a pre-planned adoption format, which is still very simple and straightforward. Consents are signed prior to the birth or signed along with the contract. The only situation in which a consent can be withdrawn is in the case of the traditional surrogacy, and I think that's pretty much the case throughout the United States. And the traditional surrogacy is where the woman who's carrying the child is also biologically related. It's her egg that she's carrying. So in those cases, she has the right to withdraw her consent up to 48 hours. That's really not the process that's the dominant in the art field at the moment. Most clinics are doing everything with third parties, with egg donors and gestational carriers. And that's primarily the very simplified, very easy process. And as Robert said, straightforward, and our law is very upheld.
Okay, so you brought up an important point in there. Stan, state of Florida is huge. Is there a lot of variation in the methods throughout the state, in the different areas of the state?
I don't know that there's a lot of variations in the methods throughout the state. My practice is in South Florida, and I work with intended parents from all over the world, really. But I'm very familiar with the courts, and my practice primarily works in the courts in South Florida, which is very friendly and open to almost any type of situation that you can get in. People perceive that California is the most liberal state when it comes to surrogacy, but I would say, and probably my fellows that are on this call with me as well would agree, that we can probably do anything in Florida that they can do in California. So whether you can accomplish the same thing in a northern Florida jurisdiction, I don't practice in those jurisdictions, so I'm not as familiar with it, but I can tell you where I practice, we can do anything that they can do in California. So we're very friendly to any type of surrogacy arrangement here.
Are any of you in the northern part of Florida? Yeah, see, so that's something interesting, though, that they should reach out to you, right, to learn a little bit more about. Liz, I know the answer to this, and probably most people do when they're looking into it, but for the LGBTQ community, Florida, safe, not safe?
Actually, very safe, crazy safe, weirdly, awesomely safe with respect to this. Don't get me started on everything else. Don't say gay, stop woke, whatever. That's a whole other video. But yeah, actually, Florida went from an unfriendly state to a very, very friendly state. I was very proud to be one of the lawyers working on our marriage equality litigation, and also challenging our adoption ban on some of those cases. So between the 2010 change with adoption and then 2015 with marriage, Florida became very, very friendly. Even if you are not married, Florida is very, very friendly. And we actually can file our cases. It doesn't have to be in the jurisdiction where the gestational carrier lives. Our law is great that way. So don't have to worry if she lives in a jurisdiction that you may perceive as unfriendly. And one thing I'll add to Stan's great uplift of Florida is that especially with respect to California, is that our birth certificates get issued so much more quickly, right? I mean, right? Everyone's shaking their heads. Like, people forget about that. Like, not only are our judges mostly great, and it's another reason to choose a Quad A fellow, because typically we have great relationships and we enjoy a nice level of credibility with our judges, but also our vital statistics office doesn't take freaking 9 months to issue your birth certificate the way many others do, other states do. So just want to add that.
So you jumped one of my questions, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So Stephanie, I was going to ask about the birth certificate process, but let's talk a little bit about accessibility of surrogates or carriers in the state of Florida. Is it prevalent? Is it hard to find one?
No, I think the state of Florida is great with surrogates. We have all sorts of surrogates. We have a lot of really great agencies, which I think helps a lot as well. One of the types, for example, we have military bases as well. I think a lot of sometimes military wives, it's something that they choose to do, something they want to do is be a surrogate. So I've found that it's been a great place for intended parents to find surrogates, and kind of to go off a little bit of what Liz was saying. I know you were going to ask about the birth certificates, but I did want to add on to that it's a very, very important point to be able to get those birth certificates quickly for international intended parents as well. They can't afford to be here that long and to wait. There are insurance aspects that you have to consider. They have to get back home. So getting those birth certificates and getting those apostilled for their home country is a huge thing for them, and something to really, really consider if you're looking into surrogacy, especially if you're coming from a different country.
Michelle, what does it mean to be a fellow at the Academy and work with fellows within the Academy?
Wow. Well, it's an opportunity to share. Whenever we have a question, it's so easy to access our listserv and be able to get an immediate response. And we know that it's verified. So the people that are sharing with us know exactly what it is that they're talking about. And it's an amazing opportunity. And I've been an Academy member for probably 20 years, thanks to Susan Stockham for introducing me originally. And I'm very grateful to be a part of the organization.
Wonderful. So obviously, these are some of the top professionals within the industry. If you have any questions about the state of Florida, please go to the Academy's website. We have a map, and on that map, you can choose the state of Florida, and you can get the contact information for any of these fellows. The website for the Academy is adoptionart.org. And again, adoptionart.org. And we look forward to you contacting them. We appreciate your time, everybody, today to introduce the state of Florida to us.
Thank you, Kim.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Kim.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.